50 years ago, how another poem was cleared of obscenity charges. Lawrence Ferlinghetti at City Lights has been leading us for a long time. Lawrence's most recent book, Poetry as Insurgent Art. It's a message to poets, but I think there's a wider message to readers of poetry. And it's stay interested, stay engaged, and stay on top of things. And even if you don't write poetry, this is a very important book and one to pick up. Please welcome him to Berkeley, Lawrence Ferlinghetti.
Greetings. I was glad to see that bridge was still there, so I could get in from the Republic of San Francisco, that offshore republic. Well, this is a prose book. Poetry as Insurgent Art, and it's also directed to graphic artists. Poets and graphic artists. How's that? Is it better? I'm just going to read the first part. Poetry as Insurgent Art. It has a couple of, 2 or 3 quotations in the front. First one by, well, it's after Bertolt Brecht. What times are these when to write a poem about love is almost a crime because it contains so many silences about so many horrors. Another quote. We apologize for the inconvenience, but this is a revolution. Subcomandante Marcos. I am signaling you through the flames. Maybe some of you recognize that stele. It's from the French dramatist Antonin Artaud. I am signaling you through the flames. The North Pole is not where it used to be. Manifest destiny is no longer manifest. Civilization self-destructs. Nemesis, the goddess Nemesis, is knocking at the door. What are poets for in such an age? What is the use of poetry? If you would be a poet, create works capable of answering the challenge of apocalyptic times, even if this means sounding apocalyptic. If you would be a poet, write living newspapers. Be a reporter from outer space, filing dispatches to some supreme managing editor who believes in full disclosure and has a low tolerance for bullshit. Have wide-angle vision. Each look a world glance. Express the vast clarity of the outside world. The sun that sees us all. The moon that strews its shadows on us. Quiet garden ponds. Willows where the hidden thrush sings. Dust falling over the river run. And the great spaces that open out upon the sea. High tide and the herons call. And the people, yes, all around the earth, speaking babbled tongues. Give voice to them all. You must decide if bird cries are cries of ecstasy or cries of despair, by which you will know if you are a tragic or a lyric poet. I'm skipping through this. In first light, wax poetic. In the night, wax tragic. express, conceive of love beyond sex. Strive to change the world in such a way that there's no further need to be a dissident. I was on Amy Goodman. I was on Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! On Labor Day, and I read part of this. I read that phrase, and I said, Amy, can you imagine having changed the world to the point that you had no longer need to be a dissident, or this program no longer need to be a dissident? She didn't answer. You know, she never answers. She just asks the next question. She's totally unflappable. Read between the lives and write between the lines. Say the unsayable. Make the invisible visible. Think subjectively, write objectively. Think long thoughts in short sentences. After a poetry reading, never submit to a question and answer session. Poetry gets the listeners high. A Q&A brings it all down to prose. Do they ask a folk singer to explain his songs? Like a field of sunflowers, a poem should not have to be explained. Challenge capitalism masquerading as democracy. Poetry is seeds and buds, not twigs. Smoke it to get high. Secretly liberate any being you see in a cage. Stand up for the stupid and crazy.